Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. As always, we'll start with EVE Online. I've played around an average amount of EVE Online, although it's not been very intense. Basically, I've been pretty busy at work and I felt like I was a little bit low energy. Maybe it's because the summer is over, weather is starting to change, and maybe I'm fighting off a virus or something like that. But the days have been pretty damn draining, and so I didn't find the time to do all that much very intense stuff. So in EVE Online, I've actually been doing some more mining rather than exploration. I've of course kept up with PI and the blueprint copy business. That is not going that well. At the tail end of the week, the sales have definitely dropped off. I'm only selling like a couple a day at this point, so that's maybe a little bit weird. Maybe it's the pricing, maybe it's just that people are ready for the most part for the refineries that they want, but it's very noticeable. And so we'll see about what I'll need to do when it comes to the research, if I need to produce more blueprint copies, just that I'm ready for the move up that I'll do when the expansion hits. And otherwise, I'm not exactly sure if this is going to pick up anytime soon, because at this point there's really not that much reason to make a lot of extra structures, except maybe the war. If people are going to take like CO2 space and need to repopulate that with structures there may be some more demand incoming. But yeah, that business is basically tanking at the moment, surprisingly early in my opinion. PI, on the other hand, demand is very high because they want lots of PI for those structures, and so I've been selling that off a little bit more quickly because especially stuff that I'm making from the storm planets, is it electrolytes? I'm not exactly sure. I think it's electrolyte. Is at an extremely high price point at the moment. So if you have the time to spend in PI, I think you're gonna find a pretty good return. And for EVE Online, I'm actually looking forward to the next few weeks, because next week we'll have a new agency event. I checked it out on CC. That video is coming out next week as well, but looks like something that's gonna be pretty interesting, and not something that an alpha clone is going to be able to do all that easily either. So I think it's gonna be pretty challenging, if what's on CC at the moment is any indication, and it does involve sleepers, so it's gonna be pretty damn interesting from the looks of it. After that we have EVE Valkyrie as well, that's coming out later this month, and I'm probably going to incorporate a little bit of that as well. I'll at least check out the game for sure. Next up, we've got some Heroes of the Storm, and here they tricked me a little bit. So with the launch of Kel'Thuzad, a new hero that I don't think is considered to be all that powerful, although I've seen some players do extremely good burst damage and some sort of control with his abilities. I've seen a lot of players just basically falter with Kel'Thuzad. He's got pretty low HP. If you're caught off guard, you're cut down pretty damn quickly, so he's not overpowered. But with the launch of that character, which I haven't bought yet, they also added some quests, and those got me a little bit, because you had to do the quest like 3 times I think, and it was to have takedowns in games that you win, and games that you win can sometimes be pretty frustrating to come by, and that was my case as well. In the final quest for the final portrait, you need to get 90 takedowns, which does take several victories to grab, and if you then lose 4 games in a row, you really start to feel pretty bad. Basically, I think what got me a little bit is that I did extra games to finish the quest, because I didn't find the information in the game about how much time I had to complete it, and so I felt this pressure to do more Heroes of the Storm. I felt the pressure to try and win the game, and that actually got me a couple of times. I started getting frustrated with bad Garrosh players that just kept charging into 3-4 enemies and get cut down again and again and again, while we had more specialists on our team, so it was about pushing the lanes out and things like that. I mean, it's a very interesting game, but this is something that I was reminded of with this quest. It's an extremely intense game as well, and if you play too much of it, you'll start to get frustrated, you'll start to get angry, and I just basically plowed through it until I finished the quest. Frustratingly enough, I was like at like 89 out of 90 on a win there, so I had to do one more game, but it's been Asmodan that's carried me through that, because winning games with him for some reason went a lot better than playing with Zigara. But I still enjoy the game. I'm just going to tone things down a little bit in the upcoming weeks, just do like really focus on the minimum amount of games, which normally you can get by with maybe 1 or 2 games a week in order to earn the quest. I also have 30,000 gold, so there's characters that I'll probably buy when I find out which one exactly. I'm thinking the wizard from Diablo. I actually think she's really powerful, and her playstyle probably fits me well. But yeah, we'll just keep going, but I'm going to try to tone it down a little bit from last week, because those Kel'Thuzad quests, they did ask a little bit more of me, and I gave it, but I also caught myself getting angry a couple of times in Heroes of the Storm. And finally we have Guild Wars 2, so that's been going, well, up and then down. So in the first part of the week I still managed to get back into Guild Wars 2, join the World vs. World, play a couple of hours of that, get some rewards, then make sure that I clean up my inventory, because you do start to fill up your inventory with all the rewards that you get there, and just enjoy the game, enjoy the World vs. World, follow a commander, join the Zerg, try to be as efficient as possible as an elementalist, which does mean switching from fire to water to earth from time to time. And then of course you also have air for traveling, which is a big advantage I think for the elementalist. If we go air, you can just have the speed bonus on you at all times, which does make you pretty mobile, especially on the bigger travel sessions that you sometimes need to do to rejoin the Zerg in World vs. World. So I'm definitely liking my choice as the elementalist. I think it's a great class, very, very useful. You've got massive AoE damage as fire, you've got healing as water, and you've got travel capabilities as air. So I'm definitely enjoying it quite a lot. But I think the low energy, the second part of the week basically got up with me, and I couldn't bring myself to add a few more hours of World vs. World on those evenings and get back into Guild Wars 2. So it's definitely phased out a little bit towards the later part of the week. And on top of that, my brother reminded me that there's also an expansion coming, like $10 I think it's gonna be, Synthetic Dawn for Stellaris, and also something that I want to play because I've enjoyed Stellaris. In fact, I've just started up a new game to check out a different type of universe to see what the experience is like there, and I'm definitely gonna grab that and play that as well. And so my current plan is to not buy the expansion for Guild Wars 2 on its launch day. I think I'll wait out a couple of months, because there is still Eve Valkyrie, there is the Stellaris expansion, there is the new event in Eve, then there is possibly Destiny 2. I'm still holding on to some reviews to decide whether or not I want to buy that for the PC. So there's still so much to do in the upcoming months that I basically want to take the break from Guild Wars 2 and see if I have an opportunity later on in the year to maybe buy everything at a bit of a discount, so that I don't have to pay full price. I think that's what I want to shoot for. I enjoy the game, don't get me wrong. This is absolutely a very casual MMO that is combinable with other games, so it is perfect. It's a great experience in my opinion, and I am having fun in World vs. World. I just can't see myself fit a full expansion in my schedule at the moment with all the other stuff that I want to do. And so I'm gonna take the chance to just leave it where it is. You know, I can get back in some Guild Wars 2 whenever I want to. I think I can still get into the World vs. World if I want to as well without the expansions, so that's not gonna be a problem. But then when I'm good and ready, and that's probably gonna be when it's on sale, I'm not sure if that happens a lot, but that's when I'll buy both expansions, the entire pack, so I've got the full game, get through the rest of the experience. But it needs to be at the right timing, and right now on launch day, unfortunately it isn't, because there's lots and lots of stuff to do in the upcoming weeks, and although I have to go to work as well, I'm gonna try to do as much of that as I can. Anyways, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.